Hey everybody, how you doing, John?
Greetings, Earthlings. Hello.
So here we are for what's new in Adobe apps. Going over Adobe Express, Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Premiere Pro,
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
all those great apps.
There's so much. We
Yep.
have so much to cover today. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, lots of good new updates, features that we saw and heard at Adobe Max. So Adobe Max, and then did the updates in the Adobe Creative Cloud app. And got all these goodies now to share. So,
Like
so
kids in a candy store.
that's right. Just before Halloween too.
Perfect. All right.
So people are coming in. So welcome everybody. Let us know where you're watching from.
Got my.
We
Got
got
my.
John Williams saying first.
I got my. I got my tea. What's everybody
Nice.
drinking today? What's your
I got
poison?
my
today?
water.
Got your water. Good for you.
Suzanne's here. How you doing? Hi ho, she says.
Hi ho, Suzanne.
Good to see you here. Yep. What's new in Adobe apps?
Yeah.
Over Adobe Express, Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Premiere Pro. So bring your questions.
Yeah.
Susan's here.
But softball questions, y'all. I mean,
That's
come
right.
on.
Be nice.
Nah.
Be
Hit us up.
nice.
Hit us up. Come on.
So, all right. Well, we got plenty to go over. So let's jump on in. So, John, do you mind if I go first with some Adobe Express goodness?
I can't wait to see what you got up your sleeve, man. Let's go.
I put that over here. Keep my notes here. And share my screen. Okay, so you can see Adobe Express, right, John?
Oh, in all its glory.
Okay. So I believe you can get it, Adobe Express. Let me see if I have the banner for it. Let's see down here. There it is. So you can get Express at either new.express.adobe.com or adobe.com/express or express.adobe.com. So plenty of ways to get to Adobe Express. I'm at new.express.adobe.com. So here's my view. And, as you can see at the top, you'll see it says for you, social media, video, photo, document, etc. And then generative AI on the right. And then it says get started. So you can start from your own content, top left. But if you just scroll down just a little bit, they are showcasing a lot of the generative AI right there. So you have text to image, generative fill, text to template, and text effects. And I'll also be giving a little sample of under the suggested quick actions caption video, which is in beta, which is quite nice. Mm-hmm. So back to the generative AI section. So I'm just going to grab a interesting prompt someone gave me.
Oh, someone donated a prompt.
That's right. Okay, so I got a little prompt. So I'm going to text to image, which technically was one of the first things that came out for generative AI inside Express, whereas generative fill, text to template, and text effects I think came out as well. But the middle ones, generative fill and text to template, are very new.
Oh, yeah.
But let's give a run through of all the generative AI. Yeah. So, posting in my prompt, which is drawing of a man, etc. I hit generate, jumps me into this view.
So we're in version 2.0 of this.
That's right. So version 2.0 of a Firefly, which already I think you can see because this looks pretty good. But watch this. Look at the detail on some of these.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Cool. Yeah, I like that one. So right from the get-go, I think I'm going to have to hit the download button in the top right. Download. And it defaults to file format PNG, best for images. I'm just going to hit download.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, I've noticed an improvement as well in this new version. Very good. Just, I don't know, just look better.
Yeah, more definition, detail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then, of course, once you put your prompt in the top left, you can choose the content type. So you can decide if it's a photo, graphic, or art, which I think with drawing of a man, it knows to default to be more like art focused or graphic. And then you have a whole bunch of different styles you can choose from. And then there's your 4 different options, your 4 different prompt results at the bottom.
Boy, how'd you like to see that dude in your back seat? What the heck?
Yeah, those top teeth are a little.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So a little crazy. And so yeah, just for this one, I just wanted to show that text to image option. And then to get back, what I tend to do is you can go back to your stuff, templates, etc. But if I just click on the Adobe Express icon in the top left, then I get back to that main page.
Cool.
Okay. So then you have generative fill. Now, I'm just curious though, did it automatically save? It did. So it automatically saved this image, which is great.
It sure did.
And so I can go back and he kind of looks like a werewolf. Wouldn't you say, John?
He does not have lupine qualities.
There we go. So werewolf. And then what I'm going to do is, and I did download it anyways, even though I think it's untitled before. I can go to the generative fill area. And it says upload image to start. So I'm just going to open that image that I just worked on.
Okay.
And then what happens is when you click on the generative fill, you upload your image. First thing is brush size. So you have to decide how big you want the other elements. So I think I'm going to just paint a few areas. And then maybe just type in flying bats.
Oh.
I'm not even sure if I need to even type in flying, even just bats. And then I just hit generate.
Yeah. And then we wait a second.
Yeah, and you just see a little fluctuating gray.
It's thinking. There's
yeah, you can see that
magic happening in the background. And
cool. So it's like it goes well with the so it follows the same style. And it creates kind of like a graphic or drawing style of bats. It doesn't put like photos of bats or anything in there.
Right. And Sarah has a question. Hey, Sarah, by the way, would this be considered commercial okay?
Right. So now that's a good question because the new features of, using Adobe Express with generative fill or even directly Adobe Firefly, you'll notice that there is no longer that watermark on the bottom left, that little Adobe Firefly beta. So yes, you can now use these for commercial use. Just be aware that starting November 1st, there is going to be a change in how many credits you get.
Right.
So you have a certain allotment of credits. And when you go over that, then I believe that they say that the amount of work you can do either slows down or you can buy extra additional credits.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3. So keeps the subject the same, of course, and just adds different kind of stylized bats. This one's a little weird with the bat head disappeared. Ooh. And just its wings are there. So nice. I kind of got rid of the one that okay, yeah. So I kind of like this one. So I like that one. And then I hit done. So you have to hit the done button at the bottom left.
Yes.
And then once you do that, then you can like download the image. So you always got to look for the signs in Adobe Express, but it's pretty easy. You just look left, you look right, look top, look bottom. So I go back to clicking the Adobe Express icon. I'm back to the generative AI section. So Sarah says, do you know where these credits will be listed? I do have a link to that I can post in the description of this video when it's up on YouTube after the live. And I can also post it in the recording link to the different groups.
That seems to be a burning question and legitimately so.
Sure. And one thing I will say, though, is I do think that depending on the plan that you have, you obviously get more or less credits. So if you're like on the all apps plan, you would get a certain amount of credits. as opposed to if you were like on an individual app or the photography plan, Photoshop and Lightroom, you
Right.
get a certain amount of credits. Okay, so that was text to image, generative fill. Now here's one that's really cool. That's brand new. They talked about it at Max, text to template.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to grab a descriptive that I already put in.
Cool.
So I'm prepared. So it says try a specific topic or occasion. So I can just paste that in, which is going to be a Halloween party theme. And I hit generate, and then it pops up to this page. And it creates a series of templates based on Halloween party on October 31st, 2023, 7 p.m. Scary monsters dancing. I don't really see a lot of this is one thing I've noticed, though. It is in its first, iteration, but I've noticed it doesn't take my full prompt. So I'll say scary monsters dancing, pumpkins and witches. I'm not really seeing that. I'm seeing elements. It's as if the word Halloween kind of takes over the descriptive.
That's right. Yeah. I wonder if you rearrange certain words that I imagine it does, but I got to say, I kind of like the ghost or the undead DJ there. That's kind of neat.
This one?
That guy's, he looks fun.
So this is pretty cool. So one, I like it too. And I think it's solid, nice colors, nice illustration. So you have two options. If I click on it, I'll just go into a larger version of it. But as you'll see, when I hover over any of these, you see a little kind of wave icon and says see variations. So if I click on that, it should give me, I believe, 4 variations similar to that style. I hope so. Cool. I don't want to lose that one image. I like that image.
I know, right? That was pretty neat. So, okay.
So it does create similar layout.
Yeah, similar color scheme and layout.
Now, if I say back to all results, good. So if I say back to all results that was at the bottom, I do not lose my original 4.
I'm glad they kept that in there.
Right. So now I can click on this one that me and John like. And then obviously it loads the template where I can then edit it.
Yeah. Your template is loading. Please stand by. Well, I don't know what I'm doing for Halloween. Now that you mentioned it, does anybody have any crazy plans?
Well, I want to get a new mask from Amazon, and then and then I know I should get it for our next Adobe Firefly, which is coming up soon for Halloween fun. But where I live in the next town over, West Hollywood, they have quite the Halloween bash. So they block off like literally 12 to 15 blocks, and people come out with these crazy costumes and have like a party for 3 or 4 hours. So
I've seen some of the outfits that they come up with, amazing and outrageous.
And for me, it's a great night of just taking photos and videos,
Yeah, no joke.
But the thing that you'll notice, so I clicked on it and here it is. So it does take like the prompt as the title, which I think is a bit long. So I'm just going to go back into the title, top left, and I'm going to go to just call it Halloween Party 2023. Return, and that, as you can see at the bottom, it renames it to Halloween Party. And then, so everything is editable. Once I click on this, you'll see that there are the fonts and the font options on the left and the font styles. You can change font color, and then you can even add animations to these.
Yeah, very cool.
But before I get involved in that, still want to keep in the kind of generative AI focus. Just one thing though, while we're here, this is pretty cool, is you'll see that on the right is your layers. So that's how you can have easy access to layers to rearrange. And then if you click here in the top left, you have the resize page. If I click on that, one thing that's pretty cool, and I believe this is also a new feature, is now you can resize to various different socials all in one. So I can do an Instagram square post, 1080 by 1080, TikTok video, Facebook post, a YouTube video, etc., YouTube thumbnail. So as an example, if I say YouTube thumbnail, you can either click at the bottom resize or duplicate and resize, which is great. So that makes it kind of safe in case you have different sizes and you don't want it to take over. So now when I say duplicate and resize, we have the original vertical, now we have this horizontal one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephen had a pretty good question here.
Okay.
Got a sec, Andrew?
Yep.
Oh, Stephen, sorry you're late, man. How dare you? Just glad you're here. Is there a text template for a web page?
Yeah, so I don't see that right now, but what I would do is if you can go to Express and there's like a help section, if there's an area where you can, contact someone or make suggestions, I would do a request for that. To be honest, it does seem like the majority of Express, its focus is more for social. So, I mean, this is a great example. You have all these options for Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and yet there's not something that's directly related to, say, for websites.
Look at all those options. Holy cow.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, even for video, a lot of video.
Very handy. You don't have to go through and resize and rearrange everything.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, great stuff. So that's saved as Halloween Party. So I go back, hitting the Adobe Express icon top left. And then there is text effects. I'm just going to do a quick one. So I'm just going to describe the text effects you want. Now, I'm not sure in this view, they're just trying to get you started, if that's going to be the word or the text effects. So yeah, so that's just that's the effect, which doesn't make sense. So you go to where it says make. This is interesting. I put in the word Halloween and now it's filling the word make with Halloween. But I want that to be, I don't know why it says, it took something else. I thought I was going to type Halloween, but okay. So it's Halloween. And I can resize it. And then I'm going to grab the horizontal, make it one word, click out, and then click back on, put it in the middle. And I don't want Halloween, so I want, let's see, pumpkins.
Yeah.
Is
read my mind.
Ghosts. I put ghosts in there, John?
Yeah, ghosts. Let's see. Watches. I don't know if we have watches. Pumpkins and watches. TikToks. Ah, I get it.
Maybe I'll say orange background. I don't know.
Yeah. Something. Yeah, sure. Or
really good at typing. Thank
I have
Grammarly saving my life again. Though.
I know. Thank you, Grammarly, man.
I hit generate at the bottom.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be good.
And then you see a little kind of
thinking
circle refresh. Yeah.
I'm thinking right. Oh, that's good.
Then you get the results here at the bottom left.
Oh, what fun.
That's one. Here's another one. Kind of interesting though. I wrote orange background. It's like a green background.
Yeah. Just blowing you off. It happens.
But pretty cool though. If I zoom in, you get these like weird eyes, pumpkins with eyes and stuff. Here's one more. I kind of like this, like a pattern, like a wallpaper pattern.
Yeah.
See how it generates the rest. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's like my grandma's kitchen. No, it's not. It's but anyway.
She has a Halloween pattern.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have this one, which looks like, oh, that's interesting. So it took like the pumpkins and is, creating, I thought it was going to do it for all the letters, but I guess not.
Right.
It's just teasing me.
Oh, there you go.
It did it with the H, and then the other ones are kind of interesting patterning.
Kenneth is in the house, and he says, maybe what would it look like in all caps?
Yeah, I don't mind it this way, though. I mean, I'm just trying to see how this
Yeah, it would probably look pretty cool to
and I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I'll just say Halloween.
Good idea here. That's pretty cool.
Halloween text.
I know, right, Kenneth?
Uh-oh, I already have one called Halloween text. What do you say? What Kenneth say?
He said, poor grandma. I agree. If she had wallpaper like that.
I'll just call it Halloween text 2 because I already had one named that. So go back. Autosave hasn't completed. It's all right. Even if it doesn't save it, I can always go back, recreate it again. So I'm fine. So then one last thing before I get over to John is the caption video option.
Oh, definitely worth mentioning. Yes.
In fact, I have two more things if you can humor me, John.
Oh, I guess we will indulge you, Andrew.
I'll be quick.
Oh, you're good, man.
So caption video, pretty cool. So I go to caption video,
Yeah.
and then it says drag and drop or browse. So I already have a folder, and I already created a little caption for video in Adobe Express Video, graded in StreamYard.
Awesome.
Right? Do you have your StreamYard shirt, John? StreamYard.
Okay, we did not plan this, ladies and gentlemen. This just worked out. I mean, we're
Right,
like
StreamYard.
really weird here. This was at the top of the t-shirt pile, I promise. It was,
But yeah, so StreamYard is what I use to multi-stream to the Facebook groups, to LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. They make it seamless, easy, and also professional. I love StreamYard. So
and we're
StreamYard.
grateful. Now sponsor us. No, I'm just kidding.
And so yeah, caption for video in Adobe Express. Open up. I got my shades on.
Oh, hey everybody.
Hang tight while we caption your video. You can see in the
uploading
right.
media right now.
Uploading the media.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Hang tight. I like the little the animations are really cute.
Yeah, I like those. They should make them in color though, right?
Yeah, I guess it's a. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. What is happening?
Just a bunch of cars with letters.
Moving stuff back.
Y.
Yeah. It's moving.
Z next. There's a V, I think. There's Z. There's a Z in the mobile.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes. Did you ever? Okay, I used to do this. I would get these books when I was in middle school, and I should have been studying in class. I would draw these little animations. I would do a little stop motion animation when you flip the pages. So I would draw these little cars like this, and then they'd be going down the page, and then a parachute would open, and then a bird would come along, pop the parachute, the car would fall and explode.
Cute.
Yeah, I had a pretty devious mind even back then. Yeah, those are fun.
And creative mind.
Creative, I guess. Yes.
A couple funny comments while we're uploading the video.
Yeah.
So Ken says you are like twins. I always thought that.
I know. Well,
didn't Lisa Carney call us a Tweedledum and Tweedledee or whatever?
She told us something the other day. She's full of Lisa-isms.
Right. She's fun.
Yeah.
So then Sarah says, how long of a video do they recommend? So I think this one's even short one, like 60 seconds. But I think you can go up to, I'm not sure, don't quote me, but I think you can go up to 10 minutes. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'd have to double check on that.
Right.
And then I don't know which one Ken's talking about. He says the one tool that I've yet to try. Maybe it's this one, caption video. But we're doing pretty good. We're like halfway there.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
I'm
still pretty fast. If you think of it overall, it's pretty fast when it's going to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, how many megabytes you pushing through there?
Yeah, it might be like even like a 60 megabyte file at least. So,
well, that's pretty darn good. Okay.
So there we are. And then first things to know is, so there's a video. So you can play the video. And then when you go down here, you have the like the scroll timeline. So you can move that around. So that's nice. And then what'll happen is you'll notice the first thing is when it starts to translate, you can, at the bottom right over here, you can change the color shape. So since I've got the Halloween theme going on in the back, I changed it to orange in my practice session, and so it retained that colors. But I could click on that and make it any color I want from this ramp here.
Very cool.
And then the one thing about it is, it's brand new, so you got to give it some leeway. But already I've noticed that in the beginning I say "Hey everybody" and it says "Hey everybody" or everybody. So over here, and this is the great part of it, is the edit caption text area.
Oh, yes. Terrific.
And so I can just say, okay, whatever, little mistake, but I can just say, "Hey, everybody." And there it is, automatic preview.
Yeah. Right, very cool.
So go back and I hit play.
Very cool, man. I absolutely love that. That is so handy. Love it.
So yeah, so I'm talking about today's event.
Mm.
So for most part, it's very solid. You might have to go back and just, take the little, what you would know what this is called for this timeline. Is it like just a slider or a scrubby slider? I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, it's just a timeline. Yeah.
Timeline slider.
When you're doing that, we call it scrubbing. We're scrubbing the timeline.
See, so here it says gone over. So I'll just know that it's supposed to be going. Give it space, and then there you can see it automatically updates. So
absolutely love it.
yeah, so it's very easy.
Yeah.
And then in the end, when you're done, you can hit the download button bottom right.
I don't know. Do you know the answer? Kenneth has a great question. Can you put the text only on the bottom? He thought it might be movable.
In this view, you can choose the different styles, and then you can choose the different colors. I think if you say open in editor, so I'm going to do that now.
Yeah.
If you go to open in editor, let me see. Yeah, if you go to open an editor, you can then move this around.
Yeah.
The only thing is,
have to be careful
where you move that around. But then I'm not sure exactly, to be honest, how I can easily get back to my project. So what I'm going to do is just see if I say, caption project. That might be something they need to really fix, though, is the ability to move it around there. Because if you open it here, edit it here, if you go back to your stuff, and then you go to that main page and you say, caption video, drag and drop video, browse. Yeah, see, I'd be starting from square one again here. So you can't open up the one that you just changed the location for that.
Right.
The text. So that is something that they need to kind of work on. So that's a little bit. And then so don't take up too much time. Just one last thing, which I think we already kind of went over, though, was the ability to. Oh, yeah. So the ability to translate. And
yes.
So when I'm in a design, I go to my stuff. I'll do this real quick. So I'm taking John's time.
Oh, whatever.
So go back to this one, which we just did. Kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
And you see right here at the top, translate.
So okay, Brace. This is great. This is great.
So I just say translate page.
Yeah.
And then it says over here on the left, select one or more languages. I can say, let's see, Dutch, maybe French, and maybe Japanese.
Gujarati. Wow.
And then what pops up is the duplicate and translate button. So I want to click that. It'll then make additional pages, and boom, there we are.
Yeah.
We got the Dutch, we got French, and we got Japanese. And it even remembers to keep the original YouTube resize that I had. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So before John gets angry at me, it's time for me.
Angry. Oh no, nothing.
Pretty cool features, all right. A lot of helpful features, cool features in Adobe Express.
So cool, man. I don't know. Mine's gonna be. I hate to. You're a hard act to follow there. All right. Well, so I am now in Adobe Illustrator, ladies and germs. So without further ado, I'm going to create a new document here. And I think I'll just make it 2000 here. It doesn't need to be terribly big or anything like that. Okay. All right. And we're done. No. So we have so new generative AI in Adobe Illustrator. And yes, it is pretty cool. So where to start? Okay, so I am going to start with a shape layer. I'm going to create a shape layer. I'm just going to draw a shape here in my artboard like that. And we're done. No, actually, we're not done. I need the, what I need is, let's see, where did it go? Where did it go?
Kenneth says text to vector is insanely fun.
It is incredible, and I'm having so much fun with this. I need my contextual taskbar, though. So where'd my contextual taskbar just disappear to?
Should be. You went to window, correct? Right?
Yeah, I did. Let's see, contextual taskbar just disappeared. So hang on. I had it like in, it was working earlier. That's fine.
Good night, Ken. He says late in your.
Oh, yeah, it is late. What are you doing? It's just like really super late there. Thanks for joining us. All right. So contextual taskbar. Man, my gosh, where just disappeared to.
Did you go to window again? Like sometimes you have to select it and then go out and then select it again.
You know what I'm going to do in the interest of time?
Maybe open a new one. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go over here to my files here. Hang on. Sorry about this. Okay. You know what?
Projects you've worked on, though. Nice.
Yeah, you can see some stuff that I played with. Okay. So now it's showing up. There it is. Okay. Okay. I think what it is, I dragged it off the
view.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, "What the? Where did it go? No." Okay, so you see, this is something that was already done, and I had the space scene, and I added the rocket in here. Okay, so not a big deal. Looks pretty cool, right?
Love the colors, and the gradient goes from like a lighter purple to darker purple too. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's say that I want to. Now this is fun here. Okay, this will just Baker noodle here. So, but then you come across this thing here. You see this little work of art here, and not so little, pretty big. I'm gonna shrink that down just a little bit. So anyway, you see this, and you think, wow, I really love this style, love these colors, and you back out a little bit so you can see it's gigantic. Here. There we go. Okay, a little more manageable there. Okay, so yeah, I love the style here. So what if you wanted to apply this style to this thing here?
To the rocket.
You can totally do that. So I'm going to select this right here. This is like the whole thing here, right?
Okay.
And then I am going to go to here, and okay, I'm going to zoom in so you can see this.
Okay. From the contextual task bar.
So you see this little eyedropper thing, right? Okay, so this is going to copy the
copy the style.
The style picker. It's a style picker. So I'm gonna, with that selected, I'm gonna click on this right here, and then I'm gonna type in space scene with rocket.
Nice.
Generate, and give it a minute. Give it a little time.
Generating.
We'll talk about you know, what we're watching on Netflix, or I don't know, what we have planned this weekend and all that. It's not taking too. It's doing pretty good actually. Okay, so check that out. You got some pretty nice. Amazing things to work with here.
Yeah, so it keeps the color palette and the style, the kind of cartoon style. Nice.
That's right. It took this style and it applied it to here. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty awesome. So it's driving me nuts that panel just disappeared, though, guys.
Oh, you can pin it. So if you go to the three dots to the right of it.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can say pin, right? Does it let you pin it? Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's quite nice. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, while you're there.
While I'm here.
Can I ask you something that you're probably planning on showing?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so we have this nice rocket illustration, and I noticed in the contextual taskbar, I have to say it slowly or I mess it up.
Contextual taskbar.
Can we recolor it? Looks like we can recolor it, right?
You most certainly can, and it's funny that you mentioned it because you're reading my mind. Because you can totally do that.
Hmm.
Now, you can recolor it.
That's quite the intense little color wheel. Look at all the different points on
Yeah,
it.
right. It's got lots of colors in it. But let's say, and you can totally move these around and do
Oh,
stuff
that's
here,
great.
and that would
Cool.
work. That would totally just be fine. You can do that.
Nice.
You
So
have,
simple, right? You just spin the wheel and get a
yeah,
nice
you have
different color. I like that
the
too.
wheel of color, and or you can.
Who's the winner of the wheel of color?
I'd like to buy a vowel. Okay. But you can also go to this tab here,
Oh,
generative
nice.
recolor, and you can type in a prompt. Let's say, give me some sort of a color palette, or you can use some of these other samples.
The
You can do trippy disco, for example. Let's just
what
click on.
about like a duotone, like a purple and blue duotone or a sepia
Ooh,
tone or something?
okay.
Except sepia tone would be one color. I don't want it to be too limited, you know.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
cool.
you have some
Trippy disco lights. That's nice.
trippy disco lights, but then you get some options here that are rather favorable. I'm kind of digging this.
That's the fun thing about all this generative AI stuff is
Yeah.
you get so many variations so quickly that it's very satisfying.
Exactly, right. And, I will warn you that it is addictive. So, yeah, but
So I am curious if you were to go up to the prompt and you type in purple and blue duotone, would
mm,
it keep it restricted to two colors for, same as a duotone would be?
there's only one way to find out.
There you go. So hit generate purple and blue duotone.
Oh, and it gives you
That's nice
exact
variations though on a theme like that.
blue
Excellent.
dual. So, yeah, gave us 4, not 1, not 2, not 3.
Right. So then underneath those four are the original
The other
last
ones,
sequence, right? Yeah,
yes,
cool.
that's
Nice.
right.
That's
So,
good that it doesn't replace it. It still gives you the option to go back and
I don't know how long it'll go. If you did this, like, 40 times, would it eventually just truncate? I don't know.
wild, wild.
But,
Very satisfying how easy that is. Like, can you imagine in the
isn't
past,
it?
people used to have to select the different elements, change the color?
For sure. Got another one here, okay. So, I've got more, but, I mean, I know I don't wanna take up, too
But
much
yet
time,
there's more.
but wait, there's more. Okay, so let's try, alright, here's another thing. Okay, so this is a little graphic I did. Now, full disclosure, I'm a Photoshop guy. I'm, like, really loving
You're an
Illust
everything guy, John.
I'm
You
I'm
just did Illustrator. You're an
I'm
illustrator.
I'm loving, the stuff that in Illustrator and, having so much fun really getting into it, but this is something I just came up with today. I
Nice,
just did it in
nice,
Photoshop real quick.
cool.
This right here is, text, as you can see, doi, but there's a problem. It is not editable text. It is a shape. See, it's a shape.
Okay.
Okay, so what if I need to change this and I need a quick way to do that? How can I do that? Well, right here, as you can see from my icon, let me zoom in, right here, or you can right click
Okay.
and you can do retype beta. Okay, so this will let me retype it. So yeah, I made my selection. Okay, got my selector tool, selected that text, and I want to change it. So let's see what happens. And just like that, yeah,
So just by saying retype beta and then apply, it's then becomes editable text?
that is exactly right. This is editable text. See, it recognized the font that I use at Atocha, which is right. I think it's pretty sure it's an Adobe font. If it's not, I apologize, but pretty sure it is. Yeah, it even has some other close ones beyond the
And
mountains. And
Sarah has a question about the credits thing. When you hit generate each time, would it take points from your total on this?
I'm
Yes.
afraid so. Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, I believe that even though you get like say variations of 3 or 4, or most likely 4, I
Yeah.
think it only takes one kind of point, one credit. Right,
That's right.
John?
It's when you click the generate button.
Yeah.
Bloop. That's when it
All right.
goes,
So they
oh,
don't charge you 4 credits for 4 different variations. It's just 1 credit.
true. Yeah. So now look, check this out. So we got editable text now. So did I?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very
So
helpful.
yeah. Apply. Okay. Exit retype. Okay. Yeah. Exit retype. So we'll just click out of that.
Is
And
there really a customer appreciation night tomorrow?
customer appreciation. Oh no, I
Okay.
just no, just
Well, that's good though.
made it up. Okay, so here, let me get my layers so I can select that one. Okay, so now I can go in and say, no, it's actually tonight,
Nice.
PM.
Ta-da. Editable.
Yeah, and well, it's not white, but that's okay. We can change that easily. Ta-da! There we go.
Cool.
And then you can go in and you can add your styles, your effect. You can go in and of course, let's see, dark shadow. Again, a Photoshop guy, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, let's see.
I thought it was
Stylize.
ladies and germs.
Stylize. There it is. Stylize. I knew.
I thought it was ladies and germs.
Oh, sorry. Germs. That's right. Sorry. I know I'm like a 1920s vaudeville guy. Like, hey, ladies and germs. Hey, we got quite a ripper of a show for you here tonight. So yeah, so you can change that easily. It recognized that shape. I mean, from shape layers.
Great stuff coming out.
I think that's amazing. So, and I was able to change that really quickly without having to, jump through as many hoops as you normally would have, and think, oh no, I'm dead in the water, and I don't have that font. Well, it found the font for me, and yeah,
cool.
So very cool. Anyway, but yeah, and there's lots of other cool stuff, but that's the one I mainly wanted to show you tonight. And
cool. So shall I do a little bit of Photoshop, even though it's technically not the newest update, but just a quick review, and then let you jump into some Premiere Pro. Yeah,
bring it on.
Bring it on. Okay, so let me see. Let me switch my view and add to stage. Okay, so that's just Photoshop as is, and I'm just doing a Command O for open, and going to open something fun I made.
Oh,
new site. Cancel. It said something about leaving site, and I made it look like it was in Chrome, and I was like, tell me you're not going to like bump me out of StreamYard. So,
let's
see. There we go. Okay, so you see that, right? Monster.
Cute.
See the monster? Very adorable. Cute, right?
Yeah.
Adorable.
Oh, I want to adopt him.
Cuddle with it.
Or her.
Sorry to Andrea if it's scary. So.
Oh yeah, bless her heart. She doesn't like the monsters.
All right, so here we are. Just a couple quick tricks. So just once again, if you are in an image and then you choose your crop tool, just make sure you check in the options bar up top. Is it set to generative expand, which it is in my case. Other options are, content aware fill or just transparent, but it's set to generative expand. So if I hold down the option key and I pull these both out, let's see what happens to the image. I just do that, and then I just hit either the check mark, or I believe I can go to that contextual taskbar and hit generate. So I'm just going to hit that. So it's saying minor expansion needs, content aware fill is your last fix, your fast fix. And here in the properties panel, you can see it's creating 3 variations. Let's see how successful it is. Wow, pretty cool, huh? I think it's excellent.
That is amazing.
So turn that off. That's before. That's after. It rebuilds the kind of circular spiral plant or whatever that is.
And you get a little depth of field going on there too.
Like, yeah, isn't that nice? A little blurry on the left, and then and then they give you variations. So if I click here, I get another variation where it's still got the spiral, but there's some other kind of green.
Got this glowy cloud thing.
Yeah, I got the purple thing going.
Yeah.
Purple muck.
Like it's just the weird, bizarre world that this guy
which one do you like? This one?
I don't know.
This one or this one?
Ooh.
The third one didn't complete the thing, so it looks so weird.
Yeah.
I kind of like the purple muck in this one the best, though. So.
Purple muck.
The purple muck. So I'm just.
I used to eat that when I was a kid. I would eat that purple muck.
So I'm going to call this monster generative expand. You can always go back and make a copy.
Yeah.
Here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I go back to my history panel, just go back to open, and let's see. I'm just going to duplicate generative fill. So just, I think we've seen this one, but just to go over it real quick. Also, when you're in Photoshop and you just grab like your simple lasso tool and you make a selection, and I'm holding the shift key, make another selection and another selection. Since it's a monster and it's Halloween season, I go over to my generative fill or the contextual taskbar that is set to generative fill because it knows that's what I want to do. Click on it. I'm going to say, what do you say, jack-o'-lanterns or Halloween pumpkins?
Oh, jack-o'-lantern. Although I've seen it, if you type in pumpkins, a lot of times you get a jack-o'-lantern. But yeah,
jack-o'-lantern.
Jack-o'-lantern. So,
and then hit generate. Let's avoid using instructions like add, fill, make, and change. Describe what you want to generate.
Yeah.
Don't beat around the bush.
Yeah, just get right to it.
All right, so it created some very abstract.
Very
abstract.
Very abstract.
Jack-o'-lantern is made out of cat fur. Okay. So if that's too creepy or weird, I'm just going to say Halloween pumpkins.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that'd be better.
Generate again. So over here, Halloween pumpkins generate in the properties panel. Boom. Tip to remove content, try generating without a prompt, and we'll fill the selection based on the surroundings. So yeah, it's good for retouching out elements. It's having a hard time. It's created a bat, not a. There we go. Here's something that's somewhat successful.
Well, yeah, there you go. And yeah.
But say this was my image. I'm just going to merge the two, and I didn't like this, which I don't, and I select it. I'll do exactly what it just told me to do, which is I can say generative fill, and then I just hit the generate button in the right side. And without giving it a prompt, it will retouch out that section, reading all the elements behind it. So you always want to make a selection that's a bit looser than just the subject. So it did a pretty good job. So
pretty good.
You don't even see it here on the right. And it gives you 3 variations, even though I don't know if you necessarily need them.
Stephen had a good use case story here. He'd been using it to print a 8x10 portrait from 4x6. Yeah. Really great.
Yeah. Generative expand is excellent that way.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
So, John, are you ready to give us some Premiere Pro?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. Okay, how are we doing on time? Okay, I'll keep
go a little after. It's
Oh well, I'll try not to. I know your time's valuable. Let's start with our enhance. Well, let's start with text-based animation or text-based.
Show us all the good stuff.
I can't say it. It's our text-based editing. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. So here I've got now I shot this in like a log format, so that's why it kind of looks a little washed out. I haven't added any color grading to it. Yeah, I love generative expand too. I love it.
It was pretty magical, right? I did both sides and recreated that whole.
Yeah. That's insane, right? And you had the magical world of the weird monster. And I hope my friend Keith, this is one of my coworker / friend Keith. And I did not ask his permission, but he's a really easygoing guy, and he's one of our biggest fans. I think he'll probably be okay with me using him. I did ask everybody else's permission. So
I think one of the coolest things is to.
Can you hear that?
Yep.
Great.
One of the coolest things, right?
Okay, great.
I like about Genesis. I think one of the cool.
Okay, I'm just going to trim off this little bit right here. We don't need to help the whole thing.
I think one of the coolest things is to be a brand ambassador for the Genesis product.
Okay, that's plenty right there. Because this will give you an idea. Okay, so you see that his audio sounds fine. I don't have to do anything this time with it, But here we have the auto transcribe, which is fantastic. I love that ever since it came out. So I'm going to just transcribe Mr. Keith here. Give us a second. Doot, 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 doot. Okay. So you say, I think. Now, you see these little dots here? Dot, 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 dot,
Yep.
dot. Okay. So that is where there's like what we call filler words or pauses. And so you can go through and you can edit those out in text-based editing.
Great.
It's super handy. So show you real quick on the three dots, some of your options up here. You can create captions from this, generate a static transcript of that, which if you wanted to export it for whatever reason, you can also export the transcript that you create to a text file or a CSV file. So you got some pretty good options there. Or you can import, you already had transcript of this, you just want to import what you've already got. So yeah, and you can even have a spell check on there, which,
Right.
you know, if you're like me and Andrew, you got to use that Grammarly.
That's right. Lifesaver.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at on this little funnel doohickey up here, boop, funnel doohickey. I want to look for filler words. So filler word, identified filler words. So where he says, I try not to use that too. I want to get rid of those. So you can go through and just delete those. Oops, excuse me. Delete those filler words. And if you can see on here on the timeline, well, okay, I don't want to. I don't want to do that.
I think.
Okay, so yeah, I want to delete the filler words. And yes, delete all. Okay, cool. So what we see here is that it was right at the beginning, so the cut is kind of minute, but it cut that out. So
I think one of the coolest things.
it cut out the most of it. And of course, you can go in and refine it.
I think one of the coolest things is to be a brand ambassador.
This here, it didn't recognize that as
be a brand ambassador.
as a filler word necessarily.
Be a brand ambassador.
You may have
We got rid of some of the other ones, right?
Yeah, right. But it got rid of the at the very beginning. So
Great.
hang on just a second. Let me see if I can find more on this timeline.
Not only the product, but the company. No, you know what? I'm done. First one is it.
Oh, this was an alternate take, apparently. So, all right, you got to see a little blooper reel, ladies and gentlemen. How about that?
Company. No.
So, okay. All right, real quick. And we'll, that's funny. You know what? First one. So we'll look again, filler words. Filler words, identify the filler words. So it sees that there are two parts where he goes,
Right.
So we'll just delete that and delete all. Boom. And it made cuts right there. Right there. Cool. So you see, like, if I click on coolest, it went to the timeline where it says coolest. Or if I like doing, you know, so you can go through and you can find specific points on your timeline where they say certain things. They demonstrated this at Adobe Max, and she was able to edit a video file very quickly doing this. And
that's just product. Not only the product, but
you see it cut out the filler word.
Not only the product, but the company. No, you know what? I'm done. First one is it.
Right.
Just chop that part off because we're not going to use it. Anyway, okay. So that's text-based editing right there. Okay,
Cool.
let me move on. So there's.
Does anybody ever
Can you hear that? It's pretty quiet.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the gist of it. Yeah.
Here's what happened. My lavalier mic went on me during this thing. Terrible timing, but I had developed a terrible short. So I had a backup microphone. I had two. I had this Zoom recorder, but it's just off camera there. And well, actually, there it is. So you can see it in the lower right-hand corner, but it didn't quite pick up his voice like I wanted to. Got a lot of room echo and stuff, right? So in the old days, you'd have to do like a lot of stuff to make this sound better. Well, not so much anymore.
Nice.
So I'm going to go over here to the essential sound panel. And auto tag does a great job of determining whether it's dialogue, music, sound effects, whatever. It knows that this is dialogue. This is a guy talking. That's pretty much all there is in this clip. All right, so I'm going to go in here. So it knows that, right? Great. Now, enhanced speech is a lifesaver, folks. This is so great. And I am going to just click that, wait a few seconds, and it's already done.
Great.
Does anybody ever really understand those amendments?
Oh, it's a lot more full. Yeah.
Yeah, and let me turn my, yeah.
Wisely. Does anybody ever really understand those amendments that we vote on? Yours
Oh, that was different. Yeah.
It's a little bit much, so you can dial it back. Got a slider here. Let's say 7.5. Sound good? I guess sounds good to me. I don't know.
Really understand those amendments that we vote on? Your city leaders want to make sure that you
So it's got a little bit of room echo left, but it's so much better.
Yeah, it isolates it well, though.
Yeah, about 8.5. Let's see what happens.
Does anybody ever really understand those amendments that we vote on? Your city leaders want to make sure that you understand what's on the ballot in this special election.
And again, this is I shot this in a log format, so it's a little washed out. Here's actually the
what format?
Log format. So what it does is it gives you a lot more dynamic range in post-production, basically. But when you look at it just right out of camera, it's kind of gray and washed out, but you can go in and you can color it. So here's add a little bit of music, bump up the volume a little bit, and throw in some B-roll, and it's rendering that for
This is Mayor James Wansley. Does anybody ever really understand those amendments that we vote on?
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, pretty decent, right? Okay.
Now, with that earlier feature where you can select the kind of pauses or the ums.
Yeah.
I wonder, can you do it now or in the future? Will you be able to change words that it's kind of like Yeah, so it's translated the whole dialogue, and you go in and you can change words themselves.
I'm not gonna jump the gun and say yeah, but I gotta.
But yeah.
But I'm thinking maybe there's.
Yeah, why not? Right, with all the AI stuff that's happening.
I think the technology is already there, but I think Adobe is being responsible in how they release this stuff. You know.
Sure.
Which I appreciate very much. Okay, one last thing. Speaking of languages, so I have another coworker, and I did color grade hers because I didn't want her to be washed out. I wanted to give her a little bit. This is Debbie Fermani, one of my coworkers. Great girl. She's hilarious, and she's a little insane. But I asked her to do this last little bit of her interview in her native Spanish. She's from Chile. So.
He trabajado en Génesis por 5 maravillosos años.
Okay, you saw okay in Spanish. And see, the transcribe did its best. What? That's not. It did not recognize it as Spanish. Well, that's okay because I am going to. Okay. Oh, and I forgot that you can also. We don't have time to get into all that right now, so I won't. But we can go up here to our languages, and we can create a. Now, this wasn't working for me the other day, but looks like it's back. Okay, that's great. This is still beta, so I want Spanish. Okay, you can also separate speakers if you've got more than one person talking, but she's the only one, so it doesn't really matter. And you can also just target clips that are just dialogue, so it won't transcribe. Like if you got a song that has lyrics in it, for example, it will just do. Okay. Yeah, so let's just transcribe that and see how it does. And yes, I think from my limited Spanish, I believe that looks right. He trabajado en Génesis por 5 maravillosos años. And I believe that's what she says here. Let me zoom back out.
He trabajado en Génesis por 5 maravillosos años.
So, awesome. Translation. I mean, that's got to be a real bonus there. I don't know how many languages they've got, but they've got quite a few, and I'm sure Adobe's always adding to this stuff and improving on it. But yeah, there you go.
Now, was there a feature? I can't remember if that was something in the sneaks that is coming up, or if it's something that they have now. But
Dub.
Yeah, where it's you can then take, like, if she's speaking in Spanish, you could then change it back to English or something, right?
That's right. Which is crazy. I can't wait.
And that was the dub one.
That was dub. Yeah,
That was pretty well
cool.
done.
In Sneaks Night. Yeah. Sneaks Night was mind blowing as always. I think you can catch it on
That
YouTube.
dress that'll be a big hit, huh?
Boy, I tell you, people were losing their minds over that, and rightly so. It's pretty awesome. Maybe pretty soon we'll see the Kardashians at the Met Gala.
Yeah, right. That's it must be a pretty penny for that dress.
Yeah.
And so, and did you have more to show, or should we jump into discussion?
I think we can jump into discussion. I think that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean,
Yes,
I've always got more. I mean, we can just stay here all night if you want to,
That's right. But the thing that we're talking about is at Adobe Max conference, they have a thing called Sneaks where they show up and coming technology, new advancements. And one of the innovations was a woman who created a dress, and it looked like it was kind of metallic. And then I think she just subtly pressed a button and it would change patterns. Yeah. And it was pretty well done, pretty mind blowing. So,
and then it animated.
And then she did like an anime where she could move and it would kind of move with her. And so I'd imagine in the future when they perfect it, it'll be a big hit for red carpet type of presentations. So. Yeah. This was great. A lot of things for us to show you. A lot of updates.
Yeah, so much.
Always exciting around the Adobe Max time, the updates that they do, and did not disappoint this year. It's quite great. So
for sure, I agree.
Excellent. So yeah, thanks everyone for attending today, watching us, and let me give a shout out to where we are on social. Yeah. So you can find John on Facebook at Pixelingo Media, and on Behance at Pixelingo, and on Instagram at PixelingoJW. And then there must be some watching this from my YouTube channel. If not, be aware that you can subscribe for more Photoshop and Lightroom and AI art, digital art focused live streams and tutorials on my YouTube, youtube.com/digitalartdrew.
That's a great place to watch your videos, man. I really enjoy watching all your stuff on YouTube. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And so, I mean, you go to it, you can even go to, I think, the top right search, like for Photoshop, if you wanted some Photoshop tutorials or Photoshop live events, and I've done various ones with John. Then you can get some breakdowns on the different, layers, layer masking, whatnot related to Photoshop. So youtube.com/digitalartdrew. That's Digital Art Drew on YouTube. And come follow, like my digital artist Andrew Kavanagh page on Facebook. That's Digital Artist Drew. And I think on Behance, if you go to behance.net, I'm just behance.net/DrewCav. And I'm building up my portfolio there too, and my services and stuff. If you watch this through the Facebook groups, excellent, thank you. Otherwise, come join the Photoshop and Lightroom group. A lot of activity in there. People share their photos, their Photoshop art, and we have live events like this streamed to it, contests, and Adobe News. So Photoshop and Lightroom group, facebook.com/groups, Photoshop Lightroom group. And the AI art and digital art group is growing nicely. So facebook.com/groups, AI art, digital art as one kind of word on Facebook. A lot of great sharing there. Some really great creative prompt engineers, artists for AI.
For sure.
And let's see, we have a comment. Thank you both so much for sharing your insight. Yeah, great. Good to see you here, Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara, thank you. Appreciate it.
And just a bit of a teaser. We are going to be doing an Adobe Firefly, or Firefly 4, I should say, live event a week from today.
1 week from today.
Yes. Halloween themed, Halloween fun. So, and that reminds me, John, get your image in for the banner.
Yeah, and I got to get my costume together too.
Well, yeah, we got to think about costumes. I have to order a mask. Got to get my Amazon Prime mask sent.
I think I'd be a pretty decent Dr. Evil. Throw me your freaking bone here.
Sound just like it.
Right.
Maybe I could just be this, you know, then I can be the skull man and I just hold this up the whole time and
Right.
hide behind it
Yeah.
if I'm lazy.
People think of Hamlet though. To be or not to be.
That's right. Hamlet. So thanks so much for everyone for watching. Thanks for being here. Do keep your eye on the top of the groups, Photoshop and Lightroom group, AI art and digital art group, for new notifications for live events with me and John, and also with the Firefly 4.
That's right.
So keep your eye on the top featured post.
Oh, you
Top featured post in the group.
changed it. It's the top pin post.
That's what they changed it. They changed the lingo, so I changed it.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Thanks, Facebook.
Thanks everybody for watching. Keep your eye on the groups and keep watching on my YouTube channel. So once again, that is, let me find that and all this information. youtube.com/digitalartdrew. Feel free to subscribe. Watch as many videos, live event video recordings as your heart wants you to. So thanks everybody. Have a great one.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
John.
Thank you, Andrew. Have a great day.
Have a good one.